You've seen aliens attack the Capitol. You've seen aliens attack Will Smith at the Capitol. You've seen aliens attack Will Smith when he was with Tommy Lee Jones. Let's see what happens when they land in the wrong part of the world in the wrong part of town with the wrong guy from Shaun of the Dead. We'll take it to the South Side London projects where we join Moses, who most people know as Finn, as we get all tooled up, blood, to go fight some aliens. These aliens are blacker than the Ace of Spades and more militant than most crews. Let's find out what happens when they come across the Southside London street kids with very little to no adult supervision. I mean, like, really, where are these kids' parents? I don't think there's a social services in London. Welcome to Eric and Javan's Pros and Cons. I'm Javan with my co-host.
I'm Eric.
And we're breaking down movies in the Esoterica movie cineverse so you don't have to.
We're here to save you some time, ladies and gentlemen.
Today we're starting with Attack of the Block with my man John Boyega, better known as Finn.
Yeah, I don't know him as John Boyega. He is Finn to me. I apologize. I must have seen that movie first, and it's been ruined for me, so he will always be Finn.
Well, ever since you called Tom Hanks Forrest at that one restaurant, I would have thought that you had learned from your mistake.
Never again.
So we're going to give our best pros and cons to a 2011 movie called Attack the Block with John Boyega and Nick Frost from Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, not really sure how this movie got by me other than maybe I just don't pay attention to horrible British comedies. But it ended up being rather surprising. I was a little shocked at the plot line, to be perfectly honest. But it kind of worked for me. So I would say pro, the city, that they kind of the background that they shot it in, it definitely made me feel like they were the inventors of white trash or the ghettos. So I felt a little bit better. Maybe they didn't just bring pilgrims, but they also brought, ghetto practices.
Pro, British people are just a little bit cooler with their hood. Their slang is just a little bit better than ours. Their accents, their drifting, their muggers, It
all seems a little classier when you do it with a British accent.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Con, every time my co-host hears British accents, he feels impeded to mimic them, and it never works for me.
If we're drinking with a British person 30 minutes in, I'm going to mix in a Cheerio. It's really not my fault. Midway through this movie, I was talking with a Cockney hood accent, and I loved it. Pro for me is their soundtrack. They have KRS-One. Anytime you can throw the Sound of the Police into a movie, I'm down with it.
Okay, the soundtrack, I hadn't even really thought about that. Con, the kids seem to be a little bit young to be getting involved in what they were getting involved in. I'm not sure that at that age I would have been reacting the same way. Thoughts?
I would say that when you come up in that part of south side of England, I think being black in England kind of prepares you to not think twice when aliens start falling from the sky and attack you. In fact, pro for me was how rowdy these kids were. As soon as the aliens dropped down, John Boyega, Moses in the movie, Moses quickly kills one of the aliens, which starts off this whole thing. And then, as soon as the alien invasion starts, they all have a great montage of them going home and grabbing their weapons, katanas off the wall.
Oh yeah, they seem ballsy as hell. These kids got real brave real quick, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, they're out to battle interstellar aliens. Somebody's gonna get hurt. This movie's gonna take a wicked turn. But I also felt that the main characters wouldn't get off. Boy, was I surprised.
Boy, were we surprised. And I gotta tell you, for me, Khan was one of the nemesis, was a guy named Hi-Hats, which was a drug dealer that wanted Moses to sell cocaine for him.
I think we're jumping to conclusions. I don't know if it was cocaine or not.
It was. I read the synopsis. It was definitely cocaine.
Okay.
I smelled it. Anyway, so Hi-Hats said, sure, you can store this alien here, but I'm going to need you to move some of this white for me. Oh, it happened again.
So, Con, everybody seems very cavalier about there being an alien just hanging around. They're carrying this dead body throughout the town, and it's not as shocking as you would think it would be to most people.
Again, being poor in England, you probably see a whole lot of stuff. They didn't seem to be... That was my thing with Hi-Hats. He still maintained his beef with these other characters in the middle of an alien invasion. People are covered in blood. We're seeing these darkness monsters with tooth whitening strips for faces, and they're devouring people. And he's like, I still got to go get Moses. And it's like everybody in his...
You see what I mean, ladies and gentlemen?
That's how he sounded. Anyway, he still stayed on path. So I didn't like the fact that he didn't seem to know what he was doing. He lost half of his crew, and he was still trying to go eat Moses.
Gotcha. Yeah, you know what? The second that the aliens land, I squash all beef with humans, and we unite on a front and kill said aliens.
As written in the Geneva Convention, of course.
Right, yeah.
You stop all 14. Beefs, and then you get back to it after you beat the darkness monsters.
Right. After we beat the darkness monsters, then I get back to beating yo ass.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's how
I agreed.
United front. Yeah, I got it.
Con for me was the advertising for this movie. I feel like if more people would have saw this movie, they would have liked it a lot better. For me, also, I just feel like it should have had more from Nick Frost as well. We got no character from him.
Yeah, he played a pretty minimal role. What I will say, the movie was right on time as far as being just long enough, not too long to where I really lost interest. I thought the movie was actually pretty good if you have an hour and a half to absolutely murder. This is, probably not a bad way to do it. You could, although I will say, use the subtitles, because honestly, I missed 3/4 of the dialogue of this movie. No shit.
Pro for me, Hulu subtitles. You will not know what is going on unless you grew up with Jamaican Nanny or something like that, because half of it is Jamaican, pikey, English, and...
It's like Cockney Black Dynamite. It's what the character Moses ends up playing, but you don't understand a goddamn thing that's going on the entire time. I mean, if I didn't know how to read body language and kind of put shit together, I had to really pay attention, though.
I got to tell you, they were out of credits for their prepaid cellulose, and I didn't realize what the problem was till halfway in the movie, that they didn't have enough credits. He's like, you're the only one with any credits, and I was like, what is going on? So, yeah, T-Mobile, Boost, reach out to those guys out in England, because... apparently,
throw back to 2011. Yeah, that should
a lot of prepaid. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's when they had pagers and stuff.
I will say though, wrapping up, that if you do like a movie that's slightly better than USA Up All Night and a little bit under HBO Now, I think you'll enjoy seeing John Boyega in a movie that they didn't ruin by him. Finn.
This is like his pre-training for Star Wars. I feel like his experience with the aliens here led him to get a bigger role at a later time.
Well, he did use the katana blade in that, which is always nice, and that got him ready
for... Yeah, that was the Easter egg.
That got him ready to fight...
Gotcha. Melee weapons and whatnot.
Absolutely.
Right. I'm with it.
I will say that I recommend Attack the Block if you're looking for something to do with your afternoon. It's super fun. But wrapping up here, this is Eric and Javan's pros and cons. I think we're both kind of endorsing Attack the Block. What do you think, Eric?
I give it 2 thumbs up, buddy.
2 thumbs up from me as well. I wish that it would have made money worldwide, but there's still time if you guys go watch it. So support it. It's streaming on Hulu right now. You can see one movie that they didn't mess up John Boyega's character forever.
Finn.
John Boyega.
We'll get to this later.
John, Boyega.
I don't like that at all. Now
I'm workshopping it.
Okay, we'll get back to it.
All right.
Round table.